students. So we are going to study today the next part of the plant kingdom, that is Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. In plant kingdom, first group, that is algae, you have studied in the previous class. Now today we will study the two next groups, that is Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, and we will see that what are the topics we are going to include in this. That is Bryophyta, three general characteristics, graphic outline of the funaria, only the graphical representation with reference to alternation of generation, and economic importance of bryophytes. And in pteridophytes, we will study the three characteristic features, graphic outline of typical pteridophyte, for example fern, definition of homospory and heterospory with the relevant examples and economic importance. So we will start with the Bryophyta. So this Bryophyta, they are the avascular embryophytes. What is the meaning of avascular? Avascular means without vascular bundles. Vascular bundles means xylem and phloem. So there are no xylem, no phloem in the Bryophyta. And embryophytes means they produce embryo. As we have studied in the algae that they do not produce embryo, but the bryophytes, they produce embryo. So they are the embryophytes. Now they grow only in moist area, as water is essential for fertilization. So water is required for the fertilization. Therefore bryophytes, they are also called as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. The plant body is actually not differentiated into true root, stem and leaves. No true root, stem or leaves here. They give a thalloid or leafy appearance. So leaf like structures are there, not the true leaves. They possess unicellular or multicellular root like structure. These root like structures are known as the rhizoids. And this bryophytes, they appear green due to presence of chlorophyll, hence they are autotrophic, as they are the part of the plant kingdom, they are being autotrophic. They show alternation of generation. So I will explain you alternation of generation in the next part of this topic, that what is the meaning of alternation of generation. Sexual reproduction is oogamous. I explained you already this oogamous, isogamous and isogamous. Male sex that organ is known as antheridium, and female sex organ is known as the archegonium. Here the sex organs, they are multicellular and jacketed. They are always surrounded by the one or several layers of the cell. That is why the jacket like structure is formed by them. Now the male sex organ, it produces biflagellate male gametes, means male gametes, they have two flagella. So these are the general features of the bryophyte. Some examples are there like liverworts, mosses, hornworts. Okay, that individual examples there in the liverworts like Rixia, Merkensia. Here you are seeing this is the Merkensia kind of liverwort. And mosses are there. In mosses like the funaria, this is funaria in the mosses. The particular species is the funaria, polytrichum, sphagnum. They all are the mosses. So these are the examples of the bryophytes. Now we'll see alternation of generation. As I said you, I will explain you in the next topic. So what is alternation of generation? So it is the process of alternation of spore bearing diploid generation. Means these plants, they have that two types of generation in their lifetime. The first is the spore bearing diploid generation, and that we call it as a sporophyte. So this is the that generation when the spores are produced. So this is the sporophyte, and spores are produced in this generation. This is diploid, means the two end condition, that is the double set of chromosomes. And a gamete bearing generation means gamete bearing means it produces gametes. So it produces gametes. So that stage is known as the gametophytic generation. So gametophyte, and this is the sporophyte. Sporophyte is diploid, and here the gametophytic stage, this is the haploid stage. Further, these gametes which are produced, they are being haploid, they fuse, they form the zygote, and zygote developed in the sporophyte. Sporophyte produces spores which undergoes meiosis, and these spores further they germinate and form the gametophyte. So gametophyte is being the haploid stage and sporophyte is being the diploid stage. So understood? Gametophyte, haploid stage, sporophyte, that is the diploid stage. So in bryophytes what happens, this haploid gametophytic generation is dominant. It produces gametes which fuse further to form the diploid sporophyte. Sporophyte is attached to their attached and dependent on the attached to whom, the gametophyte itself, and dependent on the gametophyte. And the diploid sporophyte forms the haploid spores by the meiosis, which undergoes fusion, and then by getting moisture they develop into the gametophyte. So this is the alternation of generation, the process of alternation of a that sporophyte and the gametophyte in the life history of a plant. Understood? The process of alternation of sporophyte and a gametophyte in the life history of a plant is known as the alternation of generation. Now we will study the life cycle of Funaria. In the life cycle of Funaria, we will study both these stages. So what are these stages? I will show you here. That, as I said you, that the Funaria, here the gametophyte is there, that is the haploid, that is N, you can see, and the sporophyte is being the diploid, that is 2N. So this sporophyte actually it is being the diploid condition here. Now I will explain you here that how does this cycle follows. So we'll start from the gametophytic stage of the Funaria. In gametophytic stage, it means it produces gametes. So how does it produces gamete? Here you will see the male sex organs and the female sex organs are there. So here these are the male sex organ, that is the antheridium. As I said you, the male sex organs are antheridium and female sex organs are archegonium. So antheridium 4 they bear antheridium, archeo 4 that bear archegonium. These are male sex organs, these are female sex organ. Now male sex organ, they produce male gamete, that is antherozoid. Archegonium, female sex organ, produces female gamete, that is egg. Antherozoid and egg, they fuse, fertilization occurs. You know water is required for the fertilization, and as I said you that the antherozoid, they are biflagellated, that gametes. So they travel towards the archegonium, enters into the archegonium and fuses with the egg. This is fertilization process. Now as the fertilization takes place and the formation of the zygote takes place, the gametophytic phase, now it is over. The stage which is start, that is the sporophytic stage of the sporophytic phase. Zygote, this is being diploid. Now this zygote, it develops into the embryo, it germinates and forms the embryo, and then this embryo develops into the sporophyte which is being diploid. Now this sporophyte produces that structure, means has its different parts. These are the parts of the sporophyte plant body, that is capsule, seta and foot. Now it has archisporium where the spores are formed. So spores are formed from the spore mother cells, and spore mother cells, they undergo the meiosis. After meiosis, haploid spore, because the spore mother cell is being the diploid one, it forms the haploid spores, and these haploid spores further they germinate, they form the protonema, the first structure, and then they develop into the gametophytic body. So after meiosis, when the haploid spores forms, at that time gametophytic phase starts. So understood? Clearly you can see here the life cycle of this bryophyte is divided into two phases, sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase. And as I explained you that in bryophytes, that gametophytic generation is the dominant one, and it produces gametes to form the diploid condition, and sporophyte, it is being means this sporophyte it develops on the gametophyte first, and this is dependent on the gametophyte. So this is the ray diagram. You have to learn this graphical presentation only. Now economic importance. So that economic importance, as I said you, that these mosses, which are the example of bryophytes, they form dense protective covering on the soil. So in this manner they prevent the soil erosion. Mosses, they are along with the lichen, as you studied lichen also. So mosses along with the lichen, they are pioneer community. Pioneer means the first one. So they are the first organisms to colonize the rocks, and they decompose rocks, making suitable them for the growth of higher plants. Also bryophytes, they provide food for the herbivorous mammals and the birds. And species of the sphagnum, they provide peat that has been used as the fuel. And there are many more uses of the peat. It is used as the packing material also during the transport of living material, because of high capacity to means absorb the water. And sphagnum has been used as natural antiseptic material also in the past. So these are some that important points. Some more you can see in your book, and you can learn any 5-6 points of the economic importance. Now we'll see the pteridophyta. And general features of the pteridophyta, they are vascular embryophytes. Vascular embryophytes means, vascular means they have xylem and phloem, and embryophytes means they produce the embryo. They grow in that damp and shady places also, and as they reproduce by means of spores also, and they are known as the vascular cryptogames also. Their main body, plant body, is sporophyte divided into root, stem and leaves. Now these plants, they have root, stem and leaves. And in xylem, the trachea is absent, and in phloem the companion cells are absent, because xylem and phloem, they are present, hence they are vascular, but some of the cells are absent in the xylem and phloem. And their leaves, they bear spores in sporangia, and such leaves are known as the sporophylls. So leaves with this sporangia, they are known as the sporophylls, and sporangia, they are produced in the group. So in a group, these sporangia, they are termed as sori. Sometimes the sporophylls may be compactly arranged to form the cones or strobili. For example, in Selaginella. So sporophylls, they arrange compactly and form the cones, the structure known as the cones or strobili. Their gametophyte is green in color and independent of the sporophyte. And their reproductive organs are antheridia and archegonia, as we have studied. Male gametes are antherozoids. They are spirally coiled, and they are multiflagellated. As in bryophytes, we have studied the biflagellate male gametes are there, but in the pteridophyte, the gametes are multiflagellated gametes are there. Now here we'll study the next part of it, that is the example. So examples of pteridophyte like Marsilia, fern, horsetails, and here the Psilotum. These are the example of the pteridophytes. And further we'll study the life. This is before life cycle, we will study the homospory and heterospory, two conditions in the pteridophytes. What is homospory? Homo means similar, spore, spory means spore. So in most pteridophytes, all the spores are of similar kinds, means spores are of similar kinds. So these plants are known as the homosporous. For example, it is in Dryopteris. So similar kind of spores are present in them. That is why this condition is known as the homospory, and the plants are known as the homosporous. Heterospory condition, here the phenomenon of production of spores of two different sizes and different sexes, like male and female. So the smaller pore is known as the microspore. It represents the male spore. Larger spore is called the megaspore. It represents the female spore. For example, Selaginella and Salvinia. So understood children here? Homospory and heterospory. Now we'll discuss the life cycle of fern. So as we have studied the life cycle of bryophytes, we will study here the life cycle of fern. Here also we will see the gametophytic and the that sporophytic stage here. So I'll tell you here the that gametophytic stage, that is the haploid, and that sporophytic is the diploid one. So you can see here it is shown by the different colors. This is the stage here, diploid one, and the diploid stage, it is completely the after fertilization till the meiosis occurs, it is the sporophytic stage. And here before the fertilization here, and from here the spores, this is the gametophytic stage. So let me see all these changes as we have studied in the bryophyte. So we'll start here from the fern plant, that is the sporophyte is there. So this is the fern plant. You will see here root, stem and leaf are present in it. This is fern. Now it has that sporangium on the leaves, we have studied. So sporangia are present on the leaf surface, and this type of leaf are known as the sporophylls. And these sporangia are in the group, they are known as the sori. And that this sporangia, they have many sporangium in them. In the sporangium, the spore mother cell is produced. Okay, this is sporangium present at the surface of leaf. This sporangium has the spores, and these spores develop from the spore mother cell. Spore mother cell is in the diploid condition too, and it undergoes meiosis. After meiosis, the spores which are formed, they are the haploid one. You can see here they are the haploid one. Now these spores, they germinate into the young gametophyte, and that we can call as the prothallus also. So this is the gametophytic stage. Now this gametophyte here is being haploid, and then this gametophyte produces male and female sex organs. The male sex organ we will call as the this is the antherozoid, and the female is known as the archegonium. So the male sex organs, they are the antherozoid, they produces the male gametes. Male gametes here multiflagellated, and the archegonium, it produces the female gamete, that is the egg cell. Now male gametes being multiflagellated, this also requires water for the pollination. So these male gametes, they travel, reach to the archegonium's neck cells and enters into the archegonium, and then fuses with the egg cell. Fertilization takes place. As the fertilization takes place, the gametophytic stage now gets over, and the sporophytic that stage starts, that is the diploid condition. So formation of zygote, then gametophytic stage here, this is means over, and sporophyte starts. But here sporophyte is there, further develops on the gametophyte, and as it develops completely, then the gametophyte further degenerates. In this manner, the mature sporophyte we are getting, that is the diploid one. So understood children here? The gametophytic stage here, it alternates with the sporophytic stage. Clear? Understood? This is whole from meiosis. You will start from here meiosis till the formation of these spores, haploid spore. This is the gametophytic stage, and this lower side after the fertilization till this is sporangium. This is the sporophytic stage. So this is the life cycle of fern or a pteridophyte. Now here we will study that economic importance. So it is used as the food, and some that pteridophytes, they are used as the dye also. Dye means the color, to give the soft green color. Equisetum species in the pteridophytes, they are used to analyze the gold concentrations. And ferns are that grown for the ornamental values. Also in the gardens they are grown. Leaves of the ferns are used in making flower bouquet. And some that fern like azolla, they are used as a biofertilizer to increase the nitrogen levels in rice paddies, in rice fields, because it shows symbiosis with the Anabaena. They are the bacteria. So they provide the nitrogen to the rice crops. So understood children, these are economic importance. You can learn some more there from the book also. 5-6 that examples are enough. 5-6 importance are enough. So revise it from the book and ask it.